Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a bit of a long one because we're going to be discussing so many things. I'm going to show you every rainbow high doll that I own, including their dyed twin, so that you can see the comparison between the original and the dyed version. We are going to talk about how I dyed some of the more complicated hair colors, particularly with River, because he does have flocking. So a lot of people were asking, will the flocking wash off? Will the flocking dye evenly? Like, what's going to happen to the flocking? And then, of course, with Kia, I really debated on not dyeing a Kia because, she is special edition. But then I was at Target and I started seeing that she's coming in, sets of 5. She's going to be very readily available. So she's not like a limited edition, like hard to find, like the San Diego Comic-Con dolls or anything like that. She's just, a special holiday version. So I decided I was going to go ahead and, dye one. But she does have a lot of rainbow hair, and as you've learned with the dyes by now, if you've been following any of my videos, is that they don't always come out the color you think they will. They are very much affected by the base color that they start off as, like any hair dye. We are also going to be talking about, gosh, there is so much stuff, you guys, so much. But I'm going to start by showing you everybody, and I will now show you some clips of like how some of the dye processes went. One thing I do want to address before we get started is a lot of people keep saying that they like my accent, and I get a lot of people saying, like, are you British? And I swear to you, the only people who don't ask me that are British people, because they know better. They're probably like, we don't sound like that. I am from Texas. I'm very much American. I can prove it because I say aluminum and not aluminium. So there you go. I think I just talk funny. Like, I don't know. But anyway, let's get started with doll stuff because I know that's why you're here. My cat wants in. Hold on. Okay, guys, this is my baby Sausage. He is a flame point American short hair, and he is forever hating on any door that's closed. He doesn't necessarily want in, he just doesn't want you to close the door, plain and simple. Okay, so to start with, I did try the boil method this time. I was really scared. I feel like a lot of people have kind of not tried it just because of the same reasons. The idea of sticking like a plastic doll with basically like plastic hair in boiling hot water or like a hot pan is very kind of unnerving. But I decided this time to give it a try. So one of the things I did was I had my stove, like I got a pot that I don't use for like food or anything, or that I'm not going to use anymore for food. But I got a smaller pot. I filled it about halfway with water, and I turned my stove on to about 3 to 4 is my setting, because our settings go up from like, I think like 1 to 8, maybe 10. I don't even know. Actually, I sound like a terrible housewife because I don't cook very often, I guess, enough to know my stove settings. But so I set the stove to about 3 or 4. I let it get to a soft rolling boil, and then I turned it down to 1 or 2, like on a simmer setting, and which is like the lowest. And then I put in the vinegar and salt, and I did that the same as what you saw in the earlier video where I did the sink method. Pretty much like the same measurements for that. And then I mixed in the dye. Now for Karma in particular, because I'm going to show you her right quick, what I did was, I did her clothes, and it was her lace jacket, her skirt, which I had kind of trimmed a bit shorter, and her top. And then I did some other clothes that I had been wanting to see how they looked, which was one of the Jade sets, her jogging suit with the pants and the jacket, to get those a bit more teal. And then what else? And then of course I did Karma's hair. Now right quick, I will say that I have a very big basket of dyes, pretty much all the colors. But one of the things I noticed was people were saying that the Aquamarine, while the dye bottle looks lighter than the teal, that it actually comes out darker, or like, I guess more bright, more actual teal. So there is that. So right quick, I did retouch my original Karma's roots just to make them a little more darker at the center, and then I kept them like the softer, lighter brown towards the edges. So I did, like I said, redo her just a little bit. Now with her coat, as you can see, the lining or the edging didn't take the dye, even with using the boil method, whereas the lace very much did, and it came out a nice teal green color. The upper layer of the skirt didn't take the dye, but the underlayer did. The top took the dye, but came out a completely different color. So I don't know if eventually I might give her another top, because the stitching is still the matching green, and the underneath of the top, because you know the white mesh is a top layer, the underneath layer turned about the same undercolor as this, but that white over top makes it look like a much paler blue than what it is in person. So here, starting off with my first twin set, you've got those twin Karmas. And I really love both. I really wanted a teal girl because the teal we got was in River the Boy, and I'm sure we probably will get a teal girl in the future. But I wanted one very much so, and I tried twice with Jade. It didn't really take. I thought Karma's hair is lighter, it's going to take better, and it did. It did come out very much like I said, like the peacock teal, the more, I guess what we consider like a true teal compared to like River's hair, which I guess is like a more turquoise. I think, or maybe I have the, I think that's right, yeah. Okay, so some of the other dolls, like I said, I had tried for the teal include Jade, which is how I got this. It almost looks black in camera, but it's a very, very dark, like a hunter green, I guess. It's even darker than my forest green Sunny, actually. But I had tried teal, and it didn't take at all. It didn't do anything to her hair. I didn't use the boil method back then. Maybe that would have made a difference. I think that I'd also tried black. Black was the other color I tried, and again, it didn't turn black. It just turned a very, very dark green. So the sync method really wasn't great. So with Cheer Jade, I had tried the teal again and got more of an apple green, like a green apple color. It's a little, it's on the cooler side, like kind of tinted teal, but like not really. So you have both original Cheer Jade and the dyed one. And of course I cut her shorts off because I kind of hated them, but they're cuter shorter. And then with her outfit, I'd put some teal in, and it did kind of change the green. So it may, at least it matches her hair. So original Cheer Violet has this really great, like original Violet in general, she has this kind of very pretty mixture to her hair. Some purples are more like almost white or silver, some are kind of pinky, some are like much cooler toned and almost gray. So when I put the teal in her hair, it had that same effect. Some pieces stayed kind of purpley, some were very blue, some were very green. You got that same really great blend to her hair either way. So just to kind of show you right quick. So those were all the dolls that I tried teal on and the variations I got on it. Another one that didn't really dye evenly was Stella. Stella, of course, is this beautiful pink Series 2 doll. She's kind of very much a dark pink compared to Bella, who's very light colored. Now, with Stella, so when I dyed her clothes did not dye evenly at all. They were supposed to be, she was supposed to be chocolate brown, and her like original clothes, like her stock clothes, did not take the dye. Her coat did not take the dye. Her coat really just kind of turned like a burgundy color, and so did her hair. And this suit, while I originally dyed it green, looked terrible. It wasn't meant to be as green as it came out, and it just didn't blend right. So in the end, here is Stella. I don't have her top coat really on, so I could take it off to show you guys the rest of it. But that's with the brown dye, and that's with the boiling. So I thought that like it didn't take dye at all in the sync method. It did take the dye with the boiling method, but it still didn't really turn brown. Some of the ends of her hair are more of a chocolate color and kind of gradiate up, but it's a very much like a wine or an eggplant. It kind of reminds me of this purplish brown that you would think of if someone said cherry cola. Like, it's very much a cherry cola kind of color. And then her top, only the lace ever took the dye. Her other parts of her outfit really didn't do anything. They got darker, but they didn't necessarily look better. So here you can tell between the two Stellas what her hair looks like. So actually, because I had wanted her brown, I ended up liking this color so much, so I left it that way. The other one who I tried brown on was Krystal. So of course Krystal is our indigo girl. She's got this very beautiful blend of like dark blue and different colors of purple in her hair. She's super cute. And originally I wanted her hair to be that like kind of cherry cola color. It was just too dark. No matter how much dye I put in it, boiling, sink, whatever, it didn't really change. It just kind of, you could still see the blue and purple a lot. So I decided to do her in brown. The brown really took well to the ends, but even though it looks brown in person, in certain lights you can still see tones of purple and blue. They don't even look bad. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it ride because it looks really cute on her. And honestly, she looks gorgeous in so many colors. I've seen Chocolate Dolly, who I'll link below, did her in the pink Avery wig, and it's gorgeous. It's a little lighter than what I wanted, but it looks beautiful on her. So really, knowing that Krystal does look great in so many colors, I would say if you want to do her hair differently, you're almost gonna have to go with a wig, because her hair really doesn't have a lot of dye options besides brown or black. Maybe a super dark purple or blue might work, but it's hard to say. We have Rainbow Amaya, who's very beautiful, but with all these colors in her hair, I really need to recurl it, by the way. It's like, I brushed it to get all the gel out, but like, her hair is very coarse compared to the other girls. Like, it's not the same texture at all. It's very, very coarse. It's very rough. So she's beautiful. Her makeup is gorgeous in person. She's a really lovely doll, but you can't really do much with this hair because it has almost every color in it. If you do warmer colors like oranges or reds, it's gonna take that green or that blue and it's gonna turn them muddy. Or, you know, it's gonna turn pretty much some colors to mud no matter which way you go. Like, there's really not much you can do over top of that. I had tried to have a doll with black hair previously. It really didn't take. I went over Amaya. In the sink, it didn't take. The boil dyeing did. It did work. I left her in a lot longer than I was even really comfortable because it took a while for it to take. The first dye, I was really nervous about putting her face too close to the hot water and the dye. So she had still had like some green and blue around the edges. So I went back over it a second time, and if you look in her hair, you can see like how some of the streaks look almost glittery. Those are the streaks that have like the really kind of nasty coarse texture, but they dyed evenly. So like, I don't know if it's a different kind of nylon or if it's just like what's going on there, but it's a completely different texture. So it did take a second dye around her face in order to make sure that I didn't have any blue or green showing, but I really, really love her. Here she is with the colored version. Everybody kind of wanted a goth doll or a doll with darker hair. We're all waiting on Ainsley really impatiently, but I feel like she's going to be like that very dark purpley black. I wanted like a very dark true black, so I decided to just do it myself. And here she is, who I've already knocked an earring off apparently, but here she is with her, I guess, original series 1 counterpart. So you can see what she looks like with both white hair and black hair. And with the series 1, I had told you guys we were going to add a second one, and I already removed the rainbow from her hair. I'd already cut her hair kind of show length, so it was like right about here. Everybody kind of voted, and they really wanted to see her in mint. It didn't go well. It actually looked really, really terrible. I wasn't a fan. I started off dyeing it and it came out, I had used the emerald green. I only put a very, like just a little bit of dye in the water because I didn't want it to be too strong. I dipped her hair in and out really quickly and it was just really ice blue. It didn't turn green. And so I did a yellow bath and sink method just to kind of make it green, like adding the yellow to the blue to make green. And it just wasn't meant. It was just too green. Like it didn't come out pale enough. It looked really awful. I didn't know what I was going to do over it, so I decided I would try to add the blue back in, and it did take it back to like a very icy color, I think. And so it did turn back icy, and then I was like, well, I've seen somebody with icy blue hair, I think 1 or 2 people. I didn't want to seem like very copycat, so I dipped her hair in a mixture of like gray and purple, and it ombreed it into gray with like kind of a lavendery tip. I don't know if it'll show as well, but you can kind of see where it ombreed from blue to gray to kind of purple. And then I was like, well, yeah, I might redip it. So it's really cute. She's waiting on Jean, so please ignore her terrible wardrobe. But I ended up liking it this way. I think I'm definitely gonna leave it. It's different enough from the original Maya, and the blue looks really pretty with her eyes and her makeup. Honestly, the mint didn't. The green looked terrible. It was very clashy, like it wasn't cute at all. So I was glad I thought to change it and take it back to blue. This is my original Poppy. If you look, her hair is kind of almost like a peachy color. It's almost like kind of a neon orange, but it has pink blended in to kind of make it peachy. So it does look really cute with her peach outfit. Not so much with her dark orange outfit, so I had dyed a dark orange version to match that dark orange kind of leather outfit better. It's very different. I actually had mixed some coral orange and some scarlet red to get this shade. So, you know, and even in this, you can kind of tell the streaks that were pink look a lot more red than the streaks that were already orange, which look more orange. So you can already guess that like her hair is going to come out, no matter what you dye it with, kind of different. So when I did my cheer puppy, please ignore her skirt, it's just temporary because I don't have the pants I want for her yet. But again, she has that same blend of like a blush pink and kind of a peachy orange. So when I did my light brown version of cheer puppy, like I had used the tan Rit dye and I had like pretty high hopes. Now for her shirt, I used the chocolate brown. The pants were already tan. They are Hunter Huntsman pants from Ever After High, I had to think. But if you look, and I'll show you a video too, her hair, like it's brown in person, and you can kind of, if you look really close, you can see lavender in some of the streaks, but you can also, I'm guessing it's like the neon pink streaks because it's like the fewer streaks turned green. Like it's almost like a lime green. The blend does make brown, but like up close, and I know this in this video, like it shows it much better, but like depending on the lighting, it looks really green. It's like the weirdest thing because it's not noticeable like that in person, and it looks really brown, but like in the video it looks really crazy. So I guess the lighting changes it. So that's another thing like you kind of have to pay attention to. It's very, very hard to predict what colors some of these are going to become. Cheers Sunny, I'm actually waiting to get a second one. I had a first one, dyed like a teal color, but it came out, like I knew it was going to come out green, but I was hoping it'd be more minty. It came out more mermaidy. I didn't hate it, but I have so many green girls that I wanted. In general, I have green, blue, purple, like tons of cooler colors. I decided to end up selling her. She's on her way to her new home now. Hopefully I'll be able to pick up a second Cheer Sunny because she is kind of harder to find, and do a warmer color. I have so few yellow. I think I might just do like a really dark yellow and see how that comes out. We will see. Her original counterpart with her beautiful yellow hair, I had originally dyed a green version of, which is another reason that I kind of regretted my mermaid cheer Sunny because I already had a green Sunny. And I wanted to prove that Sunny can do more than just yellow and green. But I'm still going to probably dye the next one dark yellow. So, of course, red is another one I always kind of feel like I don't have enough of. Ruby is gorgeous. Her hair is stunning. I wanted a darker version, so I did garnet. And so I had done, these were the blue pants from Avery's Closet in a dark gray. Her shirt, I ended up doing the darker red to match this. Okay, so this is really cute. I mean, obviously I've got Kia because you guys are going to see in like a little bit how I dyed her. But look how cute Cheer Ruby is in her clothes. Like, she's really adorable. Again, she's got that gorgeous bright red hair. And again, I decided to go darker. I originally wanted kind of a burgundy. It came out more of an eggplant. It is more purple. So we've got the two Cheer Rubies. Showing you guys original violet. Now, dyed violet did not pick up the same multicolored strands. The purple, the dark purple dye, and it was regular like RIT purple. It just went on one color, and that was it. Like, it wasn't one of those where it had like a ton of streaks. So because I'm showing everybody's twin, that includes Avery. She's not dyed at all. She's just got her two wigs. Regular Skyler and navy blue Skyler. I really need to give this one some bangs because like she looks like she's got all the forehead in the universe like locked up. But her hair, because it was supposed to be black, you can see the lighter colored streaks came out kind of like a ashy grayish blue. I don't know. I definitely planned to do her black. It did not come out. I ended up loving the navy and keeping it that way. So we have Cheer Skyler, who is literally so much more gorgeous even than original Skyler. And that's kind of hard to say because both of them are stunning. I put purple in her hair. You can see definitely where some of the streaks are more purple. Some of them are darker blue. Some of them are lighter. But you can definitely see there's a difference. And I really love both of them. Of course, like, again, I took off the cheek decals from all of my cheerleader dolls twins, just to have them even more different. And next up, before we talk about the major reasons why you're here, I'm sure, we have Bella and her twin. So Bella is my favorite of all the Rainbow High dolls, original Poppy being the second favorite, and probably then Ruby being my third. Yeah. Well, I don't know, because Karma's really great too, but Karma wasn't great until I gave her her roots, so yeah. Anyway, so I love Bella. I did a gray version because gray is one of my favorite colors. Originally, like I said prior videos, I used a pearl gray. It was too blue. I went back and used a charcoal gray for a more like true gray. Loving it. I love both of these so much. Like, even Bella's twin is my favorite of all the twins. The two dolls I did that I really wanted to show you guys most of all, there is River. He's got his teal hair. You can see that it does stain the flocking a bit because he has white flocking, but it's a very nice gradient, so I don't even know if it was a stain like an accidental thing or if it was an on purpose thing. Okay. He has white streaks in his hair, so his hair is more than one color. And then I have mine in some Descendants pants because I didn't like his jeans. So you guys voted on my Instagram, if you follow me there, to dye River on what color we were going to dye him, and the options were like purple, green, pink, black, gray. There were like a couple of them, and one of the things with River was I was hoping that his hair was like a light enough teal that if I did like a dark fuchsia over it, that it would turn all the way pink, because pink is the color that won. Congratulations for folks who voted for pink. And it didn't. It turned purple, but it's very much a mauve color. So I wasn't even above doing like his rest of his clothes in that color. And oh my god, I'll suddenly love his pants so much better. I do need to paint his shoelaces, but here we go. It's a lovely blend. So I did the boil dyeing with him, obviously, and I did the boil method on his clothes as well. So I don't know if they would have come out as rich a color in the sink, but I was very nervous about boil dyeing him because of the flocking. Like I said, everybody was wondering, you know, will the flocking wash off? Like, how's the flocking gonna take? Okay, so right around his hat hole, if you notice, there's flocking. There is flocking all through the top layer of his hair. I didn't notice that originally, but what I did was I took tinfoil, I lifted the shaved part of it, or the part where he has actual hair, up. I wrapped the tinfoil like in a V shape around it, and then slowly dipped his actual hair in the dye. And as I'm like trying to, like, you know, because he's like this, I'm trying to make sure that all the hair goes down, all of it gets in the dye. I notice the flocking, and I notice that it's dying and it's not washing off. And I was very surprised by that, because everybody's always like, oh, you know, you can't wash your doll's hair for that's flocking, it's gonna come off. Which, I mean, I think if you're rubbing, like, it might, but I wasn't really doing that. So I said, heck with it, and I took the tinfoil off, and I put all of his hair down in the boiling water, and it did not come off. Now, maybe I just got lucky, I don't know. You can tell it's darker pink, and then it gradiates into the lighter because I was holding his hair, you know, this area of his hair in the dye longer than that area. But the flocking died, it did not wash off, it didn't change anything. He's got this beautiful gradient of hair, lovely clothes. Like, I mean, the little detailing on his jacket is pink, and his shirt's kind of pink, but he's very much a mauve boy, and I love him. I really kind of want to get a third river just to do him green, but I also kind of want to wait and see what other boys Rainbow High might be having coming out in Series 3. And everybody's been talking about, when is Series 3 coming? How long until we see leaks? Like, y'all, we just got Series 2 last week. I don't know why you guys are in a rush, but I think that it'll be summer. I think that we'll start seeing some leaks maybe late April, early May. But I don't think we're going to see more dolls before like June. And the reason why I say that is, it seems like, I don't know when Rainbow Hat actually came out. I didn't notice them in stores in my area until very, very early August. You know, they should have been in my stores late, like mid to late summer, and Series 2 came out really close to like late November, early December. So I'm thinking, you know, there is that like 5 or 6 month period in between. The designer has already pointed out that Series 3, I think, is already designed, already ready to go. So hopefully, you know, we will see them. But I do think that we have, if you're an OMG collector, you know, we have the dance line coming out. We have the twins, or I guess like sisters series coming out with Sweet and Spicy, or the older sisters of Sweet and Spicy and the older sisters of Dusk and Dawn. So it's not like we're going to be without dolls in the meantime. It's basically about being patient. So, and of course, one of the things is Kia Hart. Okay, it's Kaya. The designers, I guess everybody has said it's Kaya. She's beautiful, and I debated on whether or not I was going to dye a version of her. I had dyed a second version of everybody else except for her, and I thought, well, you know, she's special edition, it would seem kind of awful to dye a version of her. And then as I was looking for her, I noticed all the Targets that were putting her out had like, they were ordering like sets of 5, or it might even be 6, but I've only seen like at the most 5 in each store. You know, she's very readily available. She's becoming more and more so by the day. And it's not like she's like SDCC or like limited edition. She's just special holiday edition. Or like, you know, it wasn't going to be like, if I dye this doll, it's taking away a chance for somebody else to have this doll, because they have more than plenty of them in the stores. More and more stores are pulling them out each day. Target wasn't even supposed to have them out until the 10th. People started finding them around the end of December and going crazy, like full on ridiculous, about how dare their Targets not put her out for another 2 weeks. How dare they have to wait? Like, it was wild. But anyway, so I got one, and I decided to dye her. So now the thing about Kaya and dyeing is that the pink in her hair, at least in the one I dyed, and from what I can tell looking at this one, if you look, only the very edge of the rooting is pink. The colors are all kind of towards the inside. So what I had done was I wrapped her, oh, her clip fell out. I wrapped her in, well, I separated all of her hair. I went around all the edges, pulled out all the pink hair, undid her braids, pulled out as much of the bubblegum pink hair as possible, and then sorry, I'm trying to get this clip in, but it's really not trying to go. It's like small and fidgety, so I don't want to lose it. There we go. So really everything around the crown and maybe about this far back, and then I took the rainbow hairs as much as I could pick out of these main braids and pulled it back. I put all of her rainbow hair in like a bun at the crown of her head, and I wrapped it completely around in tinfoil to protect it, because I was very afraid that these colors were going to turn muddy if they got the orange dye on them. For this color I mixed the coral orange because I couldn't find like the sunset or a lot of the other oranges that Rit Dye offers in any of the stores local to me, but we also don't have like a major fabric store or anything around here, so that could be part of the reason why. And then I mixed some yellow into it to make sure that it did turn orange and not just pink, because I've got enough pink dolls. I mean, at this point I've got enough orange ones too, but like whatever. So I really wanted this coral color. It was very different than anything I had. I dyed her shorts to match. Her shoes are actually they're a little long in the back, but they fit really well. Are the Hair Adorable Hair Amazing series. This is from one of the prom dolls. So yeah, I wrapped her hair in that little bun, dipped just those loose parts in, well, in the tinfoil, in, turned her hair this gorgeous coral color, and there you have it. So now it's the tale of two Kayas. So that's everybody so far. Like, other than needing another Cheer Sunny to dye, I think I'm pretty much done for now until series 3 comes out. I'm going to keep debating on having a third River because he's really cute and I think he'd look really good in green. I'm also debating on a third Avery for that BJD wig I've got laying around. Plus, I mean, who's going to turn down having all those extra clothes? Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit long. I hope you enjoyed meeting my cat. And I'm not sure what next week's video will be about, to be honest, since everybody is all dyed and caught up. But hopefully you will join me either way. And thank you guys. Like, you know, if you enjoy these videos, like, subscribe. I hope to do more custom whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel lost now that I think about it with being all caught up. But yeah, like, subscribe, join me for next video. Thank you guys for your patience, for how incredibly long this video was. I will see you next week.